was a slight doubt about Mark Overmars, who had a fitness check yesterday. But he is here on this Dutch occasion. Very cosmopolitan Sheffield Wednesday these days. And of course, Arsenal with their Austrian goalkeeper and Argentinian at right back, as Wednesday have as well. And for Nicholas Alexandersson, light at the end of a long tunnel. The referee is Paul Alcock. Arsenal kick-off. Certainly the favourites in terms of current form and recent history, but if you look at the tradition of this particular fixture, well, it's odds-on Sheffield Wednesday. Arsenal have won only one of their last 14 league visits to Hillsborough. That's a run that stretches back the best part of 30 years. Here's Rudi, the Norwegian, linking up with Canio and Andy Hinchcliffe, who was close to going to the World Cup with England. Tony Adams, of course, did, and his two attempted clearances not getting very far. A little clip on Vieira by Jonk, the free kick taken, unfortunately for Arsenal, with a moving ball. The stadium not full to its capacity of around 40,000, a reflection on recent trials and tribulations for a club famous for their blue and white striped shirts. Here's Winterburn, Petit, and Overmars. Pounced on by Anelka, cut out by Sheffield Wednesday's Brazilian-born central defender Emerson Thome. Rudi, first challenge really for Vivas, in for the suspended Dixon, who was sent off Chelsea. Very comfortable feel of the ball for Manninger, he'll appreciate that. My goodness, what a tremendous impression he made in 16 matches last season, where he stood in for David Seaman. Was only on the losing side a couple of times. It's Kevin Pressman, his 14th season with Sheffield Wednesday, and goal at the other end. Flag has gone up against Canio, whose behaviour hasn't always been to the liking of his new manager Danny Wilson. Vivas to Bergkamp, little nudge from Vieira. Bergkamp's pass, and Ray Parlour on the run. Anelka in the centre. Overmars getting there as well. It's too high for Anelka. And Cobián can just see it out of play on the far side. Sheffield Wednesday have has been finding forward to take the chances that Danny Wilson knows this team have been creating. Andy Hinchcliffe has scored a couple of goals this season, a set play specialist. Rudi. Jonk. Well, the flag has gone up. Alexandersson, who I understand feels that it's maybe just a little early to be back in the senior team, but I'm sure it's delightful to have the opportunity, delighted to have the opportunity, and hoping that it's a delightful occasion for Sheffield Wednesday. Certainly a big game. Cobián, who's been left out of the recent matches because of his lack of size against teams like Cambridge and also Wimbledon, who have plenty of strength and physique in their forward players. He's got the speed to try and deal with Overmars. Andy Bould. Knocked away from Rudi by Vivas. Petit. Arsene Wenger, well aware of Arsenal's poor record on this ground. They were beaten here 2-0 last season, their championship season, in a match that was memorable for Sheffield Wednesday, not just for the result, but because it was the first game of the return of Ron Atkinson to manage the club, a stint of management that lasted from November only to May, and he was deemed a surplus to requirements. But as Arsene Wenger was also pointing out, it is a league where any one team can beat any other on a given day, but Arsenal certainly feel they're at their best and more than a match for most sides in this division. A substantial success against Manchester United on Sunday, even without Petit. He's back today, but in trouble as a Canio tries to slide it through the Bould and Nigel Winterburn. Such a consistent performer in a consistent defence. Jonk. Now Vieira. Just adjudged offside there, Anelka. It's the pass. But Anelka thrives on with his explosive pace. Rudi. Vieira, though, gets it to Bergkamp. Look for Anelka again. Brilliant ball. And twice in a matter of moments, the threat posed by Nicholas Anelka very apparent to Sheffield Wednesday. Petit. Here's Bould. Now Canio. Gets it back. The slip by Alexandersson, and this time Anelka's not chasing him behind Sheffield Wednesday, who are defending well up the pitch. They've got a very quick player at the back, Des Walker, well known to many of you, I'm sure, from his long England career, 59 caps. Been to have the international scene for some time now. By Adams against Booth, who's pretty handy in the air. Looks like this time it's Keown's pass, and Anelka stopped by Emerson Thome. Petit. It's awkward. Surface that's a little bit damp because of the generally a misty atmosphere that's descended on several parts of England today. Jonk. Petit getting the better of Canio. Peter Atherton doing the intercepting. And then Anelka almost cashing in on some uncertain work from Cobián. Got back, in fact, to make another useful contribution. A midfield man in this lineup for Danny Wilson, but a defender by instincts. Put forward by Adams. By Thome, who's come here earlier this year from Benfica. That's another very close decision, and Anelka not quite so accepting of this one, but the best chance he's had set up for him by Bergkamp. There's Walker having to get across to make up the ground, but still capable of doing that. It wasn't the best touch initially by Nicholas Anelka, and Walker got in, and it stayed at 0-0. Sheffield Wednesday lost here in the league to West Ham and to Villa. It's off the ball, and as we continue on the ball with Adams pass to Canio is down, and it's Mark Overmars. Walker puts it behind. He kept mind on the job. One or two of his teammates were distracted. Now Canio. There was some sort of assault on his person then. Seen by referee, by assistant on the far side. Arsenal have a corner. Met by Walker. Restart the game with a Ray Parlour throw rather than a Ray Parlour corner. Splitting the difference in terms of where it should be taken from. Parlour to try and fire it in. The scuff by Rudi. Eased on by Booth. Winterburn. Here's Alexandersson. To Canio. It's nicely played. Alexandersson again. Well, it's Arsenal defending in a line, and it worked for them then, although Rudi tried to spring the offside trap. Good movement from the midfield player. Vivas with a throw. Quick thinking by Bergkamp. There were signs against Manchester United that Bergkamp was getting back to his best after a tentative start to the season. Danny Wilson, the new Sheffield Wednesday manager, will remember Bergkamp's performances last season. Danny was in charge of Barnsley. Bergkamp put them to the sword, home and away. Just impeding Adams, not really going for the ball. Overmars. Winterburn to mark Overmars again. Not much space on that far side for Arsenal. Anelka able to keep the ball within his range. Hinchcliffe. Only Hinchcliffe missed out on the World Cup. He was in the final 26 players, but he wasn't fit when Glenn Huddle had to cut 26 and maybe 28 down to the 22. He was one of those who was left disappointed, but he understood his reasons for his omission. Well, Overmars went down as Petit tried to give him something to feed on. Booth. Challenged by Vieira. It runs for Alexandersson. To Canio. Dealt with by Adams. High and forward by Winterburn. And some attention required for Booth. Time for me to tell you the first news from White Hart Lane. An amazing match today. Spurs against Leeds. Leeds currently managed by George Graham. But all the speculation is that by this time next week, maybe George Graham will be the Tottenham manager. Well, it's Spurs 0, Leeds 1. Scorer for Leeds, Gunnar Haller. Such interest in that match, incidentally, that it kicked off 10 minutes late so that all the spectators could get in. Dave Galley, the physio here, who works with the England under-21 setup. Andy Bould has got a pretty good record for Sheffield Wednesday against Arsenal. He's not yet scored this season, and would have been looking to try and impress Danny Wilson with his performance today, but that might be cut short by that challenge by Vieira on Danny Wilson's striker. He's not happy. Required off the pitch before a final decision is going to be taken there. Humphreys, the one out-and-out forward on the bench. Vivas. Bergkamp. Parlour never stopped running. And he's behind Hinchcliffe. It's Ray Parlour for Arsenal. Great stop by Pressman as Parlour veered in onto his left foot to make, he hoped, a better angle for himself. But the formidable size of Kevin Pressman enabled the goalkeeper to get plenty in the way of the shot. But it was a tremendous move from Arsenal. And Sheffield Wednesday grateful to a goalkeeper who's had one or two mistakes punished this season. Winterburn. Anelka stronger here, and helped by Nigel Winterburn, who made up a lot of ground to help out his young colleague then. Vieira. Vivas going outside Parlour. Back with Vieira. Sheffield Wednesday got every player behind the ball, still without Andy Bould. Petit has the shot. So collectively good work by the home team then to at least make Arsenal shoot from further out. But Wednesday were really worried by the pace and aggression of Parlour. Hinchcliffe was labouring and in danger of doing something that could have cost his team a penalty with his hands on Parlour's shirt then. But a very fine block by Pressman as Parlour went in for the kill. Jonk to Canio's foot. Dave Galley working on Andy Bould beyond that far touchline. Aston Villa the leaders, lead second place Derby by 1-0. Paul Merson, the scorer for Villa. Pass. Rudi was good play from Sheffield Wednesday, who've been on the receiving end for the most part so far. Short corner. Jonk. Back for Hinchcliffe. Canio. Good control from Vieira. Still looking to break here. Parlour. Chasing for Anelka. Got the ball in. Cobián got his challenge in. Andy Bould his way back on. Lengthy treatment. Canio reading the mind of Patrick Vieira. T. Parlour. Rudi. Sheffield Wednesday only finished 16th last season. Bould can't go up. That's very unlucky for him. With less than 20 minutes played, Danny Wilson has to make a change up front. Chances recently have been few and far between for Richie Humphreys. Very much a local product. He's got the opportunity to perform here against Arsenal. Anelka, and he was being tugged by Emerson Thome. Is that seen as the last defender? What colour will the card be for the Brazilian? Well, it's yellow, and I think he's lucky, because Nicholas Anelka looked uncatchable from the point of view of any other outfield player. Maybe the distance from the goal, although that's not something that referees always take into account. So Arsenal get their free kick. Sheffield Wednesday concerned about Adams coming late on the scene. Troy didn't work. The Gunners, Adams, who got things going for them goal-wise against Manchester United on Sunday. Keown. Again, you feel that Arsenal have got the pace to get in behind Sheffield Wednesday. Des Walker on the spot then. And here's Rudi, a bit of neat footwork, but Keown in crisply. Atherton. To Canio. Alexandersson. Flag has gone up. Humphreys through the centre. A couple of seasons ago, he got off to a really flying start with 3 goals in his first 4 games. We'll talk about how he would develop. His career has rather stood still since those days. Getting the better of Bergkamp. Vivas. Parlour. It's a little loose by Anelka. Just tight against the touchline. Keown getting the ball rather stuck under his feet. Canio toiling hard for the team. By Vieira. Anelka. Hinchcliffe, I think a very intentional one by Parlour. There was no need. He was causing him enough problems in any case. But the crowd reaction just before that, and Canio's reaction, another leggy reach by Patrick Vieira, as in the case when Andy Booth was hurt and his participation in the game finished in that moment. Miss kick. Atherton looking to get it back from Humphreys, but good pressure by Alexandersson. Adams just gets in as Manninger's minder. All the evidence in the first half of the first half is that Arsenal carry the greater threat. Tottenham have equalised against Leeds United, 1-1 at White Hart Lane, and Ramon Vega. Jonk. Here's Humphreys, the substitute. Tony Adams with the 2 tackles then. Vieira. This is Keown. Vivas, Parlour in a more central position. It's a bone-jarring challenge by Walker on Ray Parlour. Bergkamp. Within the laws of the game, of course, try and do some sorting out Sheffield Wednesday and stop Arsenal passing the ball with poise. Call then. Be told he could have taken an extra touch even with his head. Rudi gets the better of Vivas. Adams was diving in. Alexandersson. Well, the chance was there. Maybe for only a fraction of a second, but it was there. Rudi did very well. Adams T confusing each other, and Alexandersson at least could point to a certain amount of rustiness on his return. And as the ball dropped, he couldn't strike it with any sort of conviction. Jonk. It's Arsenal's ball. But also maybe the way the ball was thrown to him. Clearly a back pass. And Hinchcliffe got a foot in, and Pressman does kick the ball very powerfully indeed. Vieira, his own source of power. Adams. Sun starting to break through in Sheffield. Break through for either of the sides yet. Parlour. T. So much potential in Alex Manninger. It must be very frustrating for him to have to be a stand-in. Overmars. He was trying there. Warning Alexandersson about the approach of Winterburn. And now Overmars. Sheffield Wednesday not getting the ball away when they might have done. Bergkamp in the centre, and Anelka is there as well. Vieira on the edge of the area, and couldn't quite guide it into Parlour's stride. Wednesday have regrouped. Anelka. It's a lively turn. Another good save by Pressman from Patrick Vieira this time. Again, all the impression in this first half at Hillsborough is that Arsenal, the Gunners, have the bigger guns today. The touch on by Anelka, just away from Parlour. Sheffield Wednesday have got to dig deep. Well, it's a booking for Winterburn. really make much contact with Richie Humphreys, but it was the intention that the referee didn't like. Bergkamp. Gets it back on the head of Overmars. The flag has stayed down when on that occasion it might have gone up. Pressman gets to the ball. Parlour with a goal to aim at from long range, but he missed it by some distance. Maybe had time to take a touch. Certainly the goalkeeper was stranded. First impression was that Anelka was offside, but it wasn't going to be given, and Pressman was very alert and wondering here what was going to befall Sheffield Wednesday. Parlour didn't get the range. Rudi. So one or two impressive things already in the game. Half an hour gone, 0-0. Pressman by far the busier of the two goalkeepers, though. Hinchcliffe attacking it at the far post. It was a bit on the hefty side, the cross. Cobián by Keown. Humphreys lifted out from an offside position. Rudi. Rudi just nudges it on, and again the intelligence in his play was conspicuous. Humphreys once more judged offside. The decision looks the correct one. Rudi's more than most for Sheffield Wednesday. Arsenal cause for concern. Really showing that he can defend as well. It's deflected to Bergkamp, and Anelka by the flag. This win over Manchester United came after 5 successive draws, 4 of them in the league, including 3 away games, 0-0 at Liverpool and at Chelsea, 1-1 at Leicester, where they were rescued by a last goal from Stephen Hughes. So the 2 league victories this season have both been at Highbury. Adams. Now Petit. A quick recovery from an ankle injury sustained in the Champions League. Lens. Keown. Anelka taken on by Vieira. Parlour being done at crisp pace. Intervened importantly. Rudi stirs Sheffield Wednesday's souls again. Canio. Humphreys went towards the near post. Canio's not much more talent than that attempted cross shows. spirited in midweek. They actually lost their League Cup tie against Cambridge of Division 3. The defeat on this ground, they drew the second leg. Bergkamp, not quite. Surely it will come sooner rather than later. Different from a year ago when Bergkamp was winning individual awards game after game, month after month at the start of the season. Minutes left in the first half. A little bit of time maybe to be added on to that for the injury to Bould. Winterburn. Vieira. Much Overmars could do, but he's headed it on for Bergkamp and chased on again, Mark Overmars. Behind the goal, I had a good view of that. Going for handball. This didn't go until the ball's gone out of play for an Arsenal throw. Vieira. Anelka. Rudi rebuking the referee for giving that free kick. Problem for him, and Patrick Vieira fell without a mighty axe being wielded. Trying for the contact with the hand. Players speaking out of turn. The defensive Nigel Winterburn who got booked. The player picked on by Paul Alcock, he gestured to the ref with a shrug of the shoulders as if I don't know what all that's about. Free kick for Arsenal. There's a left footer to be involved. It will be Manu Petit. Bergkamp there as well. They want to vary the ploy. Martin Keown making a nuisance of himself on the end of the wall. It's Petit. And it was charged down by Cobián. Keown stayed forward. Petit, good leap by Humphreys. Vieira, Petit, and this is Anelka. Bergkamp flying towards the near post. Well, flying is the word that you should use about Dennis Bergkamp, a notorious non-flyer in the aeroplane sense. The outcome is a corner. More pressure on the home goal. Of the ball in the quadrant there. Parlour sees the funny side of it. Adams found his run blocked off, maybe in the way that Tony Adams might block off an opponent in the other penalty area. So not much more than a token complaint. Time to tell you that Leeds have regained the lead at White Hart Lane. Leeds 2, Tottenham 1, and Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank got that second goal. The club currently managed by George Graham. Keown. Thome. There's Hinchcliffe, nicely judged. By Petit, but not by Winterburn. Rudi. Certainly touched the ball, and Paul Alcock, the referee, was looking at it from the opposite side, so maybe couldn't appreciate that. Sheffield Wednesday have a free kick. sending up Emerson Thome again. Canio. Anelka. Sheffield Wednesday swarming around to win the ball back. It was all a bit flicked at by Arsenal, and Canio did well to reach it and volley it across. But no doubt he's a match winner, even in a game against such illustrious opposition. What isn't so easy is to predict his general demeanour day in, day out around the training ground. Even his attendance record is not perhaps that of an exemplary professional. Inclined to pop back to his native Italy whenever the mood takes him, but he's out there for Sheffield Wednesday today. And they're holding Arsenal with some difficulty, it must be said, but holding them nonetheless. And I'm sure some Arsenal players know about this poor record that the club have at Hillsborough. Servants like Tony Adams will have played in a few defeats here. Vivas. Argentina's World Cup squad, who's starting a league game in England for the first time. Yellow card for Vivas. Rudi. Flicked away by Keown. Missed by Adams. It was a decent ball that needed some attacking really from Sheffield Wednesday in the centre. Rudi pulling a string or two for Danny Wilson's men. Atherton. Alexandersson. Only Bergkamp forward for Arsenal. And Pressman has been caught once already this season, and I'm sure Bergkamp under orders to challenge the goalkeeper as he did then. Rudi. Jonk. Such a good pass from the ball. There was plenty of astuteness in that rolled ball to the feet of Canio. Jonk is certainly mixed with the best in Holland and Italy, and indeed in international football. 2 World Cup campaigns for him. Vieira was annoyed with himself first and foremost for letting the ball slip away, and then as he went to get it back, rather than just knock it off to a teammate, he wanted to manoeuvre it with his own skill, reassert himself, if you like, in the play, and then after that, well, all hell has broken loose. Oh! And Paolo Di Canio is in big trouble, already sent off, and then he's thrust the referee to the ground. And Keown, who also got involved in a fight that was nothing to do with him in the first place, he is sent off as well. Well, a dreadful incident in the closing moments of this first half that's led to both sides being sent down to 10 men. And Danny Wilson I appreciate that, he's saying, but what he might be doing is trying to clarify the situation from his perspective. Canio got embroiled, and then that was disgraceful. And Paolo Di Canio is going to have a hefty punishment coming his way. Also yellow for the man who was at the centre of the football side of it, Patrick Vieira. But red for Keown. Red for Di Canio. Didn't like having his shirt pulled there by Jonk, who was then shoved down. I'm just looking round to check that Wim Jonk is also still with us. Vieira were disputing possession, and then Keown and Di Canio stepped in with agendas of their own, and they are no longer with us. So Manu Petit is playing in the centre of defence. Which side will it disrupt them more? Rudi. That was Alexandersson cropping up in the centre. Two forwards that Sheffield Wednesday started with have both gone. Bould injured, Di Canio red-carded. And Arsene Wenger's going to get another centre-back on, Steve Bould, and Mark Overmars has his afternoon's work cut short because of the tactical need here. Overmars replaced on the stroke of half-time. It's amazing. Arsene Wenger has not yet been manager of Arsenal 2 full years. He'll reach that milestone on Wednesday. And over the period of nigh on 2 years, brought so much success to the club, but he has had to see his side endure 15 red cards. Canio, no stranger to trouble. Wilson getting a message to Rudi, but he'll be able to talk to his players at length very shortly. Manu Petit, who's going for the ball here, was sent off last season for laying a hand on the referee Paul Durkin, but it was nothing compared to the shove that Paul Alcock had to endure here from Paolo Di Canio. They will throw the book at the Italian. Cobián. Met by Vivas. Jonk. Half-time. Oh, what a hostile ending to the half. Arsenal the better side when it was 11 against 11. Kevin Pressman with a series of saves. But then, well, astonishment for Keown. But prior to that, Paolo Di Canio had been sent off, and then he sent the referee flying. An incident that you'll see over and over again, I'm sure. An escort for the referee down the tunnel. The game will continue in the second half, 10 against 10. And we've reached this point at Hillsborough with the scoreline Sheffield Wednesday 0, Arsenal 0. This level I have never seen before. Now we will find out in earnest as to how the respective red cards have affected the general well-being of the football side of the two teams. No Overmars now to cut a swathe down the left, as Arsenal would hope he would, because he was sacrificed, you'll recall, just before the break so that Steve Bould could come on to play in the Martin Keown role. Arsenal very well blessed with accomplished central defenders. Here is Bould. Steve Bould again. Adams. At least the half-time break was timely and it allowed tempers to quieten. The second half news from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 1, Middlesbrough 0, and Brian Laudrup has got his first goal for the club he joined for this season. Vieira has got to live with this in the second half. He's responding in a very positive manner. Walk the disciplinary tightrope. The player who was twice sent off last season needs to be at his coolest, you feel, to survive the full 90 minutes here. Vivas away by Walker. Adams. Here's Parlour. Oh, and Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp has a chance, and Kevin Pressman stops Bergkamp scoring for the first time this season and keeps Sheffield Wednesday at 0-0. Another put on the list of fine stops by Pressman, who's been criticised for his work this season. You certainly can't criticise him on today's evidence. Arsenal carved out the chances in the first half, and they start the second half in the same vein. Vivas. Well, you Brian Laudrup fans around the world will be disappointed because they've reclassified that goal at Stamford Bridge as a Gary Pallister own goal. More straightforward task for Pressman. Alexandersson just had a taste of senior action in the midweek match in Cambridge, came on as a substitute. Atherton. Cobián. Alexandersson, but he's finding it hard going, the Swede. It's understandable. Out since January, remember. That's a bad touch by Winterburn, who's got to be careful. He's been booked. Alexandersson able to hook in half across. Cobián. Rudi and Humphreys in the centre. Tight marking by Tony Adams, but they'll need more of this Arsenal because Hinchcliffe can whip it back. Winterburn knocks it behind, and Sheffield Wednesday haven't really been able to get up a true head of steam in this game to this point. But the home support galvanised by the award of the corner. Thome coming from just inside the penalty area. Oh, and Manninger with sort of problems there, and Andy Hinchcliffe. Let's credit the player who took the corner. It was a very nervy moment for the young goalkeeper standing in for David Seaman. And he would have had no chance with that header from Humphreys had it been just inside rather than outside the post. Well, arguably the strongest spell of Sheffield Wednesday pressure in the match in the 50 minutes we've had so far. Glancing touch from Richie Humphreys. Vivas. Parlour. Under his foot, and Sheffield Wednesday going to get going again through midfield. Parlour came in, caught in Jonk, might just have twisted some part of his body. He's holding his hip. He's on his feet, and Wednesday are on the ball with Rudi. Fought Vieira, who got to the ball. Will recall that a few years ago he got the red card in this fixture at Hillsborough. Winterburn. Can he give it away cheaply? Petit, Winterburn, good play from Arsenal. Winterburn couldn't carry that on. Humphreys has carried it on. Here comes Alexandersson. Jonk getting into the centre. Humphreys as well. Humphreys missed it. Jonk put the brake on. Here he is. Cobián. Richie Humphreys caught in the back by Bould. Side of the picture as we look. Jonk. Well, Rudi! More work for Manninger now, but here's Ray Parlour with some room. Anelka is trying to pull away from Thome. Anelka can lead this to Winterburn if he wants. He doesn't choose to do that. He gives to Nigel Winterburn the ball. There's only Bergkamp in the centre for Arsenal. Vieira. Bergkamp raised the foot. Walker headed it. Parlour. Rudi. Rather languid style of his, but he's got a bit of pace when he needs it, and he's enjoying pitting his wits against the champions at Hillsborough today. Cobián. Gap for Atherton through the centre. If Jonk can find him, he's looked instead for Rudi and found him. Hinchcliffe. Adams only partially away. Atherton gets a foot there. Hinchcliffe. stoppage, probably a free kick, a foul on Adams, but Vivas needs attention. Go away, says Paul Alcott to Ray Parlour. Hinchcliffe just using his arm to get leverage in the jump, not to deliberately elbow Vivas in the face. That's the way it looked, but it was a nasty blow, and Gary Lewin trying to make sure that there's no lingering damage. Arsene Wenger, who's been through this so often, to see a player get red carded. Martin Keown would probably argue that he was trying to keep the peace, as Canio was hell-bent in looking for Vieira, but in putting out a strong arm to stop that, he was seen as raising almost a fist to the referee. Well, it's not going to be the free kick that Arsenal thought it would be. It's going to be a corner. Vivas trying to play his part in the defending of it in the goal area. Doesn't get as far as him. It's Ray Parlour's head, knocks it away. At just over 10 minutes of the second half. Well, the ball didn't go out. A good bit of retrieving by Alexandersson. Now the power of Parlour. Cobián, Humphreys, Winterburn. Trying to bend it early for Bergkamp, but it might have been a more productive ball further forward for Anelka for Nigel Winterburn. Easy to spot from up here, far from easy to see down at pitch level. Cobián. Atherton's flick. Jonk gets past Vieira. Ball doesn't get past Bould. Parlour. In goes Adams. Vieira. Tony Adams makes an extra man in midfield for Bergkamp. Adams wants it cut back, and he was about to pull the trigger. But Thome got a deflection, and he's now on the ball. Jonk. He'll revel in the greater space that is available because of each side having had a player dismissed. Walker. Pressman, Arsenal will feel, has kept Sheffield Wednesday in the game. Tony Adams with a leadership by example a moment or two ago. So they've got to be careful from Jonk's capacity to pass the ball. Rudi, that's in briskly. Anelka. Vivas. Guess who's on the ball? By the crowd's reaction. Bould, there's a pass on here for Winterburn. Steve Bergkamp affected. Well, Alexandersson's done well to get this far, but he's back. He's had the best part of an hour under his belt. He's replaced here by Briscoe, a Yorkshire lad who's more naturally suited to playing on the left-hand side, but is operating on the right at the outset. Rudi staying on the left. Hinchcliffe. And Rudi's got the better of Vivas. And it's Briscoe! Can't get there. And Bould puts it behind from Atherton's cut back. What an arrival that would have been for Lee Briscoe. Rudi looked for the substitute who'd been on the field a matter of seconds. Atherton did reach it, but couldn't strike for goal from there, trying to play it back across the face, behind for the corner. Maybe another Hinchcliffe special. It is! Oh, and a special save from Thome by Manninger, who had problems with the corner, but kept out the header. Great reactions from the young goalkeeper. Sheffield Wednesday try again. Much more of force in the game. Humphreys. Cobián. That needed a bit of defending by Ray Parlour. He had to make sure he got his head round it, and he's wondering what's happening at the moment. What is happening is that Bould has got a cut, and at least the lack of hair works to the physio's advantage. He can see how deep it is and whether it can just be patched up with a plaster rather than having to go off for a stitch. Tension has to take place off the field, and now this is a genuine chance for Sheffield Wednesday with Bould off. Oh, and that's the worst corner Hinchcliffe has taken. What a time to do it, what a wrong time to do it for the home side. Briscoe. Arsenal down momentarily to 9 men. Ball. Bould still sitting it out behind the goal line at the right-hand end. Adams. Jonk. And it's Rudi. Manninger starting to come. But in the end, he was wise to stay where he was. Bould, an unmissable figure now, back with a big white bandage. Parlour, says Pressman's. Sheffield Wednesday starting the day 14th in the table, Arsenal 6th. First header for Bould since the cap was repaired. Free kick to Sheffield Wednesday. Of just under 28,000. I think it would have been a lot more if Sheffield Wednesday hadn't had that catastrophe in the League Cup on Cambridge United's ground on Tuesday night rather. But they could bounce back with a really morale-boosting win. Bould. Cobián. Briscoe. To the gods from Tony Adams. The Arsenal gods, the fans will say. Jonk lifted into the Arsenal penalty area where Humphreys was trying to make something of it. Briscoe battling hard against Petit. Cobián, interception by Vieira. Played very well, Emerson, Thome. Brought here by Ron Atkinson towards the end of last season. Very much a occupational hazard for Premier League managers, how to blend the homegrown talent with the foreigners who are available by the way the football industry has developed. Arsene Wenger, of course, a great example to others. Bould. Adams. Vieira. Parlour's gone ahead of him. Bergkamp. Dennis Bergkamp was just being pulled by Rudi. Bergkamp's come out to be involved in the taking of the free kick. Tony Adams suggesting to Paul Alcott that the pressure's not right with the ball. The referee calls for a replacement. Reluctantly, Danny Wilson, the Sheffield Wednesday manager, kicks it on. He'll be annoyed. Players are quite superstitious. If this is the right ball for this free kick for Arsenal, and managers too. Bergkamp does take it. Vieira can play it away. Arsenal's defence without both Bould and Adams at the moment. Bould coming back, but Adams is doing a boot, throwing up a boot on the edge of the Sheffield Wednesday goal area. It's actually a pitch length away from proceedings at the moment. But, Gary Lewin, the physio, has run around the pitch to see whether Adams had a problem other than that to do with his footwear. He's in action and wondering whether he might loiter into the penalty area. Anelka stopped in the act of crossing. Decision is a goal kick. Walker is hurt. It's a damaged wrist for Des Walker. Oh, it's a dislocated finger, look at that. Galley will deal with that dislocation. It's 3-1 to Leeds now at Tottenham. Played Reinhardt, the new Dutch forward, has got the third. Two red cards here. Danny Wilson losing Andy Booth early to an injury. Des Walker going to go through anyone's ever experienced having a dislocation put back without an anaesthetic. They'll know Des Walker's going through. He is as brave as a lion, and he'll need to be. Magilton as the substitute there. Wondering whether there's anything more than a request to warm up. Certainly that. "20 minutes to go, 0-0. And the attacking side of the contest depleted by the fact that both teams had a player sent off. Not necessarily the nature of the departed players, that of course. One defender for Arsenal, Keown, and the attacker for Sheffield Wednesday, Canio, but it does mean that both teams have made sure they've got the right number of men at the back, and leaves it a bit light on the creative and goal-getting departments. Wasn't quite the pass that Anelka wanted, but it was close to it. Vivas. I didn't know what was going to happen then. He wasn't really in control. It was just a toe into midfield. Briscoe favouring the left foot, as you can see. Cobián. Hinchcliffe. Cobián. Back with Andy Hinchcliffe again. Humphreys. Adams going with it. Rudi. Atherton. Hinchcliffe. It's an exercise in patience by Sheffield Wednesday here, and the supporters showing patience as well. I'm trying to appreciate it, but it's got them nowhere in the end, keeping the ball in that part of the pitch. Parlour's run offside. The ball's gone to Vieira, who's got it through to Bergkamp. He's also caught offside, but that must have been very close. Similar position to where Bergkamp had that really good chance at the start of this half. Briscoe. Jonk again. Dispatching the ball around the pitch with great ease. Rudi. Hinchcliffe. Came off Adams to Arsenal's advantage in the end. Nicely put together by Sheffield Wednesday then. Jonk. Cobián. Vivas not really wanting to concede the corner. So Hinchcliffe can whip it back in again. Briscoe! It was a free header, and he got it too close to the goalkeeper. The best chance of the match. By some distance, it came to Lee Briscoe, and well, Manninger got a hand to it. It didn't just hit the goalkeeper, so well played, the 21-year-old. But Lee Briscoe will know that he really should have buried that. Jonk. Goalkeeper flaps at it. Steve Bould waved a left foot at it. Back from Hinchcliffe. Bould there again. Bergkamp, if he can get it down and put Anelka away, and he was in too much of a hurry. That's the best hope for Arsenal. The thrust of Nicholas Anelka on the counter-attack. Thome. Cobián. He's got such natural agility, Alex Manninger. And it served Arsenal well here. He hasn't looked too happy on the cross ball. Caught out, and Arsenal have got a real opportunity. Anelka for Parlour, and it's a day when we're certainly praising the goalkeepers. But they didn't quite get it perfectly played here. Had to reach for the shot, Ray Parlour, got it on target, and Pressman put up the barricade again. 15 minutes to go. Des Walker mightily relieved because it was his mistake that led Arsenal in. Winterburn. Cross to Vivas. And he's taking a bit of a chance here against Rudi. And Arsenal five Sheffield Wednesday players coming at them. Rudi. Oh, and it came off Adams! And it's gone behind for the corner. And it could easily have nestled in the own net of the Arsenal captain. Manninger off his line, going for a ball that he wasn't going to get. Jonk to take the corner this time. Hinchcliffe waiting on the edge of the area. Thome making his move. But the ball's actually gone out and back into play again. Arsene Wenger about to freshen things up for Arsenal here with a double change. Ljungberg, who made his debut in spectacular style as a substitute last Sunday with a goal against Manchester United. And Stephen Hughes come on for Manu Petit and Ray Parlour. Well, it's an interesting switch from the Arsenal point of view. Stephen Hughes, who's played plenty of first-team football, but hasn't yet really established himself as a regular. Ljungberg very much a new boy, and two regulars taken off. Petit, of course, has missed a bit of football recently with injury. Here's the Swede, Ljungberg. Bergkamp. Anelka! Challenged by Des Walker, and the decision is a corner. And I don't think Des Walker got the ball. And the corner it is. Second header was by Hinchcliffe. Rudi. Hughes had taken the corner. Anelka. Anelka definitely fouled there by Rudi. Well, from a free kick from this sort of position, Tony Adams scored emphatically with a header against Manchester United. Hughes took that one. It's Bergkamp. Bergkamp taking on Richie Humphreys. Ljungberg. Vivas. Hughes to drive it in. Both the centre-backs forward for Arsenal still. Sheffield Wednesday press back, but the position to counter-attack it if they can nick the ball. Anelka. And another wonderful save by Pressman to stop Nicholas Anelka. Well, the red cards apart, there's no doubt that the goalkeeping here is the story so far in Sheffield this afternoon. Hughes. Winterburn. Bergkamp waiting on the left. Anelka. Hughes. Ljungberg. Trying to get round the outside, and he's done that. And it was both Bould and Adams in the centre who had shown Arsenal's ambition by staying up for the best part of a couple of minutes. And they're still there, as the champions look for a decisive goal. Winterburn. Could have gone on a bit closer, actually. It's got to be some wallop to beat Kevin Pressman today. It's Charlton 1, Coventry 1. Noel Whelan gave Coventry the lead at the Valley. Andy Hunt, with his first league goal for Charlton, has equalised. Two clubs in the lower half of the table. Tottenham have pulled it back to 2-3. Stefan Iversen, who's missed a lot of football, Norwegian, back fit again and scoring again. The head of Adams. Offside. It still doesn't go from Humphreys after Briscoe had flicked on. To it. It's the touch here that means the offside decision is a valid one. Headed on by Stephen Hughes. Bergkamp. Chelsea have got a second. Gianfranco Zola. Vieira. Ljungberg, but good tracking back initially by Atherton. Oh, and Pressman's kick. Hughes got to it. Winterburn trying to cross early. And a corner that really is down to the goalkeeper's footwork initially. Weakest thing that Pressman's done in the game. It's been a good spell this from Arsenal. Six minutes plus stoppage time to go. They have a corner. Dennis Bergkamp to take it. Twisted away by Pressman. Nicely taken on the half turn by the confident Frederick Ljungberg. Vieira, Bergkamp. Winterburn goes round the back, and Adams keeping it alive. Although the referee has put a stop to it. Movement by Winterburn close to the ball, and Adams further away from it. Before the pass was delivered. Ljungberg. Still playing for the air of a side who feel that they can win this, but exhibition going to let the back door open for Sheffield Wednesday. Hughes. Asking too much of Vivas. Two red cards here and one at Goodison Park. Blackburn Rovers have lost Martin Dahlin, sent off. Bergkamp. Rudi. Arsenal unbeaten in the league. But this would be a 5 draws out of 7. Vivas. Rudi couldn't stop his forward movement. Anelka and Ljungberg is in space. Well, he scored last week. He doesn't score here in Sheffield. They made the extra man through Sheffield Wednesday across towards that far side, and Ljungberg had space, but not stinging the shot. And that was one of Pressman's easier saves. Cobián. Ljungberg. Thome. Not much to do but knock the ball out of play, but it didn't stop him just giving Winterburn a dig in the ribs. Bould. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Ljungberg. Anelka. Oh, and the Pressman hesitates, but at least forces Anelka back. Goalkeeper repositioning. What's Anelka going to do here? Good for Hinchcliffe. Rudi. Pressed by Vieira. Good work on the ball by Rudi again. Hinchcliffe. No, I haven't seen too much from a Sheffield Wednesday in an attacking sense over the last 15 minutes or so, but here they come with Cobián. We were able to get it down, but I didn't like that for either reason. There was no challenge, and that it was Vieira. Thome winning that trial of strength with Anelka, but just over-elaborating a bit. In comes Bould. Anelka just getting his breath back and getting back onside. Arsenal look in the other direction. Vieira was made into trouble by Vivas and got out of trouble. Ljungberg. Back into Arsenal. If you say so, the assistant on the far side, I think, against Atherton. Because he got to the ball. Technically tackling with the wrong foot in that situation. Maybe that's what caught the eye of those who penalised him. Bould. The Sheffield Wednesday bench there trying to get their players upfield. It was an Argentine challenge by Vivas. Briscoe! That's won it! Lee Briscoe with a quite brilliant goal. He's done it here by looping the ball over a stranded Manninger. And what a sensational finish to the match, and a finish to this move from Briscoe. Hillsborough rocks to the sound of a surprise goal in that Sheffield Wednesday had been consigned to defending. They were sitting back, and now, well, Arsenal still have 3 minutes to prove my words wrong, that it's not the winning goal. Bould goes up front. Whether the shot just took a slight deflection, that might have been the case, but Briscoe's willingness to press forward, that was Humphreys just having a go there, has served Sheffield Wednesday so well. It will be the biggest win since Danny Wilson took over here, and a happy ending to a distressing day in some ways for the club with the behaviour of Canio. But it's still some 90 seconds left for Arsenal. Magilton will replace Jonk. Well, a gesture that says so much about Sheffield Wednesday and the pain they've been through over the past few days. Well, there's real pleasure just around the corner, it seems, unless Arsenal can catch out Des Walker and company and beat Kevin Pressman. Difficult enough to do. Ljungberg. Adams. Here's Bould. Vivas. It's Briscoe's header. Turn the villain, no, because Atherton's there to help. Rudi, Humphreys can be put in here, there's no offside. Humphreys takes aim and doesn't end the anxieties and really wrap it up. But what a rousing finish at Hillsborough. Humphreys chases back, Arsenal try to chase forward, they've got to take all sorts of risks now. This is Vieira, Bould through the middle, Adams is up there as well, and he goes back out on the goalkeeper slip, and got back on his feet in the very nick of time. Humphreys is offside this time. Danny Wilson trying to stay calm on the bench, and he can celebrate now. Wenger sees Arsenal taste their first defeat of the season. Shot goal from Briscoe right at the end of a match that was otherwise dominated by some splendid goalkeeping and by 2 red cards just before half-time. Martin Keown for Arsenal and Paolo Di Canio, who compounded it all by pushing Paul Alcock, the referee, to the ground, and you won't have heard the last of that by a long chalk. The referee running to the tunnel, not just for his own protection, but in case, I think he wondered if there was any other incident going on there. So with Kevin Pressman's goalkeeping and Briscoe's winner, Sheffield Wednesday have bounced back in true style from the pain of League Cup defeat at Cambridge, going out on aggregate in midweek, and they've won 3 Premiership points, and they've done it against the defending champions. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Arsenal 0.
The victorious Sheffield Wednesday